Hey, what's going on, boys and girls of the internet? Today we're going to talk about how to stop being poor in America and other places in the world. It's really interesting, it's challenging, it's difficult, but people aren't really telling you the truth on how to escape this stuff. For those of you who want to be part of Hustle Camp, links below, all of the information and stuff. Plus, if you want to be notified of live streams going forward in the future, go below this video and get on that live stream email list. All right, swig of water and we can talk about this because I've been thinking about the new course, right? And also been thinking about going in a different direction. Right now, you have so many people who are promising you the world for the $9.99, for the $29.99, for the $59.99. And the thing is, it's simply not going to work because there's a few fundamental things that you need to change before you can start becoming successful. And one of those things is how you think, the mindset. It is huge. It is really, really a big deal. And so many people kind of ignore that and don't really put a lot of faith into that because it's not quick. Now, one of the ways that you can stop being poor is to forget about quick success. Just get that out your mind. Just let that go. Stop thinking about it. Stop looking at the Instagram of this person who is in the G-Wagon, or this person who's in the jet, or this person's. Let that go. Because one of the things we're going to do in Hustle Camp is we're going to take you on a trajectory where you start now, this being July 2017 for people who will see it in the future, and this time next year your life will be better. And let me be real clear. This time next year. It's not going to happen in 30 days. It's not going to happen in 60. It's not going to happen in 90. What will happen in 30 days is you'll get a set of instructions, and what will happen at 60 and 90 days, you'll start to build your hustles, to start to build your business. You will not get to the point where you could just live off your business probably before the end of the year. I mean, I'll give you my story in a minute. And for those of you who are just coming in, question to you: how long do you think that it will take a person starting from scratch, no money, no connections, no experience, to make $1 million online? How long do you think that will happen? Put that up in the comments. I would be very interested in knowing that. And I'm just making all kinds of adjustments and stuff here, because as you can see, I am not up in the house. I'm actually in the office today, and that hit the light nicely. What's going on, Coach Maine? What's up, Robert? The video gonna speak directly to me, I already know. Mama needs her wine. What's up? Dante J, good afternoon. Owning it. I haven't caught you in a while. Been real busy. Keep it on with the mindset. T.I. Kinlock. I've been trying to change my mindset coming from a poor background. 2 to 3 years. That's good. Owning it. 5 years. Okay. Robert, 10 years. Zonas Elias, I think 10 years. Okay. Those are some really good thoughts. 5 to 10 years, depending on the work ethic. Right now, in the current space, depending upon many variables, I'm going to give you these variables. There is physical businesses, and there's online businesses. There are service businesses, and there's consulting businesses, and there are professional services. Yeah, those are all businesses. You know, your doctor would be a professional service. Your CPA would be a professional service. Consulting would be stuff that I do, like PricewaterhouseCoopers, I think Bain and Company. I'm not sure. Then there's your physical stuff like Macy's and Publix, and then there's your internet businesses. Uber is an internet business. It's also a venture business. Now, all of these business models require different fuel and different ways to grow. So one of the things, and part of what we're going to do in Hustle Camp, because this is not going to be this quick thing, because there are some people who were a little concerned, like, hey, when can I get in? My money's not going to be right to Thursday. you have time, because one of the things I'm going to do with Hustle Camp is I'm not going to overload you with information. This is one of the misnomers, and this is a mistake I used to make. Build a big course, so many hours of stuff. It's too much for the average person to consume who is already consumed by life. So what we're going to do is 10, 15-minute training sessions per day. That way, if you come in a week later or 2 weeks later, it's not going to take you forever to catch up and actually start to get benefit. Does that make sense? Let's see. What's going on? Frankie D. I'm seeing all kinds of people I've not seen in a while. Frankie DI, you're a lifesaver. Nice upgrade. Appreciate it. Gerald Estrada, some have made 6 figures in 6 months. Let's talk about that. There have been people who have made 6 figures in 1 month. What's her name? Kylie Jenner. She came out with this lip kit. She did 6 figures in roughly 30 minutes. Now let's talk about that. That is a unicorn. That is an exceptional situation. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to talk about it. There are people who win the lottery. Bona fide fact. So your chances of coming online from scratch, no experience, no money, and making 6 figures in 6 months are just as good as your chance of winning the lottery. It could happen, but it probably won't. So yeah, because that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons that I'm dialing down the rhetoric and going at a slower pace, is because people are gassed up on making big money really quickly without really working that hard or not working that long. And that's just not reasonable or normal. It's not going to happen for most people. There will be superstars, there will be unicorns, there will be people who will do it. But if making big money fast was the norm, why is 70% of the United States of America poor or barely just getting by? Think about that. Hey, Julia, 3 to 5 years, depending on the talent. I see. Yeah, we're going to get you your t-shirt. For those of you who join Hustle Camp, because Julia's in Russia, I know, right? All the stuff for Russia going on, but she's good people. I'm going to probably order and send out the t-shirts toward the end of Hustle Camp. So if you're like freaking out on all that stuff, you can go ahead and order. All the links and stuff are below. And yes, we ship internationally. With most skills, they're never going to get there without money skills. Okay. Douglas, depending upon the municipal variables, your connections, how hard you're willing to work, your research, absolute minimum of 11 months. The hectorate, 5 to 8 years. See, there's this book. It's called Predictably Irrational. Let's take some common facts. And we're going to get about how to stop being poor in a minute. But let's take some common facts. How many people, and please put this in the comments, that you know are broke in your personal space? How many people do you know that are barely making it in your personal space, friends and family? Sometimes they tell you, sometimes you could just tell. How many folks you know that maybe their car had to be fixed and stuff and they couldn't drive for a week or two until they got the money together? How many people you know complain about their health insurance? How many people you know complain about a lot of monetary issues? Now take just, your sphere of influence, just folks you know. Now multiply that across the country. Stefan, your latitude depends on your attitude, baby, said Don King. That's funny. Deshaun Lewis, hey, Glenda, I'm a trucker. I work 2.5 weeks straight, and most weekends. Is Hustle Camp something I could still do with a full-time job? Great question. Yes. Now, this is one of the reasons that I'm doing this slow. And let's be real clear. For you to go through Hustle Camp, it's going to be 30 days where I'm going to be dropping content, dropping tutorials and stuff, and adding more stuff. I realized that everyone doesn't have my situation where I'm 100% free to do whatever I want to do when I want to do it. So the classes and the tutorials are going to be short with action points. And let's say you've been on the road for 2 months, then you come back and 2 weeks, and you want to come back and you want to start, and you can buy it and start getting benefit from that day and work at your own pace. So it will work because I'm designing this for regular people. And I'm not saying that to be demeaning or anything. It's just everyone doesn't have a lot of free time. So for this course to be successful and to help you It has to come to you in little nuggets. And then you put them all together, then you have this big thing. So appreciate the question. What's up, Matthew Harris? Gerald Estrada, sales skills are crucial. No one wants to sell anything and they're scared of sales. 100% agree. Courtney, 9 months. Let's get back to this whole thing. Okay, for most of you who can be successful, if you go ahead and say to yourself in the morning, I'm working on my hustle, then I'm going to work on my business. Your hustle is to free up your time. This will be a component of Hustle Camp because here's the thing. You got a job. You're working 9 to 5 or whatever hours you're working. Then you have a family. Then you got to go home. Where's this time going to come from for you to build this business? So we're going to talk about time management. I got some courses and classes to help you with that. But the whole thing is, because of your life the way it is currently, you don't have the time to stroke it out. So extend your timeline that, hey, I wake up in the morning. Today I'm going to do a little bit on my business, my hustle. And then in a year, you look back because we're going to track this stuff. And it's like, wow, I went from 0 to an extra 500 to maybe 10,000 a month. Now I can guarantee you from experiences, products I've sold, getting the 500 extra a month is real easy. 2,000 easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. I should say doable. You do the work, you'll get the results. But 10,000, that's going to be on the higher side. But there will be people who will take Hustle Camp and they will go from 0 to 10 grand a month. Extra money from either a hustle, combination of development of business, and their job. I am not going to tell you to quit your job. I'm not going to urge you to quit your job before you're ready. The only time you should quit your job is when your job is costing you money from your business, where your business is doing so much that you are better off quitting that job to spend more time with your business. At that point, that's when you quit, not a minute before. I'll accept a few. That's why I don't talk much to most people. What do you mean? Okay. You're answering the question. So everybody's going through it. Everyone I know, Robert, Julie from Wonderland. Awesome, Glendon Cameron. You're the man. Looking forward. Cool. The thing is, take what you know. Because if making big money was this easy, because here's the thing, making money is really simple. Find something that people will pay you for and do it over and over again. That part, the concept wise, is very simple. The execution is a bitch. The execution is hard. The execution, that's rough. So that's the thing you got to look at. And we're going to talk a lot about expectations, because if you feel that you're going to start a program or something and then you're going to make a lot of money real quick, and then real quick, whatever that is to you, real quick could be a week, real quick could be a month, real quick could be a year, whatever your time frame of real quick is, and it doesn't happen within that time frame, you out. And what I want you to do, and what I want to encourage you to do, is to extend your time frames. Once you do that, you're going to give yourself a better chance for success, a much better. And I'm talking about extended times 3. And let's talk about that. You start something today, and 3 years from now, it's doing an extra 10 grand a month. How does that hurt you? I don't see, because the thing is, you got the time is going to pass. Like this lady I used to visit when I was a kid, her name was Sally Mae Jones, and she would say, you know what? If you live long enough, you're going to get old. It's true. And whether you're actively doing something during those 2 years to improve your life, or 3 years, or 4 or 5 years, those years are going to come and pass. So you could be sitting there waiting for the quick opportunity, or you can get busy with reality. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. We got to do a little housekeeping. Hold on a minute. And boom. Well, there we go. I'm getting real quick. I'm getting rid of trolls and stuff. But let's talk about being poor. What is poor? And I'm going to give you my definition of poor. It may be different from yours. Poor is you have to wait to get paid before you can do something. That's poor. There are some people who are 6 figures poor. because they have poor money management. And poor isn't you have a low income. Poor is you have bad money management skills, because you could be making $5 an hour and realize you're making $5 an hour, and you would actually live like you're making $5 an hour, and you would have savings, and you would realize you need to get an extra job to make more money. So that's poor. If you got to wait to get paid to do something. Once you get past poor to financially solvent, if your car breaks down, you don't have to wait to get paid. You have certain things, ideally a slush fund, a emergency fund, some money somewhere that when life events happen, and I encourage everyone to start a savings account. Go to your credit union, whatever. And this isn't to invest. This isn't to put in the Bitcoin. This is to get yourself 2 to 10 grand cash money somewhere you can get your hands on as soon as the bank opens up. In most places, the bank is open 6 days a week. So you got one day you can't get to it, and that one day won't kill you. That's your attitude money. That's your to prevent life from disrupting your path money. So let me get into the comments. What's up, Cody? I know music. I found the recurring music model teaching. Okay, cool. Frankie DI, could you elaborate on your question? What are you talking about? Lamode, what's up? Let's see what else. Okay, just make sure. Now, another thing that comes from escaping being poor is to have goals. I know the so-called study was debunked and all this other stuff, but goals work very well. And we're going to talk about goals a lot in the Hustle Camp. If you sit down, and the goals must be written down. If you ever write down something that you want and it scares you, a lot is happening. One, you don't feel that you can get it. And you're already scared of the disappointment that will happen if you work hard and you don't get it. So in your mind, the safe play is don't do anything, which is really, really wrong. I mean, the savings account is critical. And when I say a savings account, once again, once you get to whatever you are, 2 to 10 grand, you don't have to save anymore. I'm not talking about this whole mess of trying to save your way to wealth for investing, because there's saving and there's having, just think of your savings account as an expense account for your life. And then the real, I'll talk about the setup of the savings account once you get one, because you start up your first savings account, which is 2 to 10 grand. Then you have what's called the monthly operating account. Now, what's the monthly operating account? You've saved up the money. You know that your expenses are $3 grand a month. So in your operating account, you already have 3. At the first of the month, you have 3,000 in there. You still got your 2 to 10 grand in your savings account. So at the first of the month, you can write checks, or you could just go ahead and pay all your bills online, and you haven't even got paid yet because you have a monthly operating fund in your life, which prevents stress, which keeps you from going crazy. This is one of the reasons that you have to learn how to manage money. So who here has a personal operating account for their household budget? Just throw that up in the comments. Because see, this is what's going to happen. Another factor of being poor is consistent stress. You're constantly stressed. Everything is, if I do this, I can't do that. Every little decision, and there's this thing called decision fatigue. So you're making all of these high-level decisions based upon your lack of money management skills, lack of a savings account, lack of a monthly operating account. These things can be done at any income level. You don't have to be making 100 G's, but we'll talk about increasing your income, because that's very important for your future goals. Let's see, where are we with that? I'm just checking the comments real quick. Cody's trying to get his savings up, because I'm going to walk you through how I escaped from being poor. Being poor, I didn't have a job. I was living in a boarding house with crackheads. This was many, many years ago. This was not last month. This wasn't last year. It wasn't even last decade. This was a long time ago. But I had to take those elemental steps of managing my money better, making better financial decisions, looking at my money realistically. And what's happening is you have many people who are holding out hope that they will be able to get on one of these extremely quick money generating tactics. And there are some out there. Resell is a very fast way to increase your income. Craigslist, very fast way to increase your income. YouTube is not a fast way to increase your income. YouTube is a long-term play, being anywhere from 6 months to about 3 years. Instagram, properly deployed, could be fast money, but we're still in the 6 to 1 year range. So the fastest thing you can do is usually something local, providing a service, providing consulting, or something like that. All right, I'm making sure this thing is working because I got a question. And this is a big question. Seriously, and think about this before you answer. Who here thinks that they can generate enough goodwill in the world through service to others that they can earn $1 million in 1 year? Who really thinks that they can do that? Raise your paw, raise your left paw. Seriously, and put it off in the comments. And then when you do that, answer why you feel that way. And I'll go first. Why do I feel that I can make $1 million in a year? I've done it before, and I have a business model as well as hustles, as well as a job. Consulting is a job. I'm an employee. I work hours. I'm trading time for money, except it's a very big paycheck, but it is still a job. And then I have hustles I'm working on, and then I have a business model that has recurring revenue. So with all that stuff in play, I know I can do it because I've done it before, and it's just a matter of continuing to do the things I do. But why do you feel that way? Because if you say, yeah, man, because God want me to have it, I just feel it, that's not going to cut it. That really isn't going to cut it. Robert, I heard our brains are attracted to novelty. What do you mean by that? Paulo, I don't know how I could do $1 million. Okay, and we'll see. Here's the deal for escaping being poor. There are paths. And the thing is, you got to go ahead and educate yourself on a path that's good for you. That's one of the first steps, because then when you have a path, you have education, then this thing, hope, goes out the window because you become more confident. And let's see, Mama Needs Rewind, only if you're starting with a huge audience or level of influence. There's one way to hack becoming an influencer. If you can get next to another influencer who will put you on 3, 4, 5 times, that's enough to do it. Dante J, through a service business. Okay. Lamode, I do. Ronna Stalker, left paw. I love what I do in a tight family unit who have the same mindset. That's good. Corey, I have built my knowledge base and show my worth and make sure I get paid. Okay. I do the 5 accounts for business and personal. I learned from you. It is real important for you to segment your money as soon as you get it. Because there's this video here is the 5 financial accounts that every self-employed people need. Because once you start to segment your money, you force discipline upon yourself and you create a path of prosperity. Because a lot of people, if you ask them, where'd your money go this month? They'll say, I paid my mortgage, I paid my car payment, I paid my credit cards. They will not forget, they will forget the bubble gum. They'll forget the cupcakes. They'll forget the flowers they bought for someone. They'll forget the gift that was bought for a baby shower. They'll forget all that stuff. But that's your money. And it's that drip, drip stuff that you are unaware of that keeps you broke. Let's see. Okay. Well, that may be a technical issue with the chat because I'm checking. Everything else looks lovely. But the fact is, if you start to use information that you already know when looking at this stuff, because I'm going to say it, my feed is full on Facebook of the stuff that the big drive is you're going to make money quickly. If you're not making money quickly, you're doing something wrong. You're not being efficient. You're not hustling. You're not doing this 24 hours a day. The thing is, I can tell you from experience that you can work very hard for a long time and it will still take a while for the money to come. I know that's not real popular. No one wants to hear that, but it's the truth, because as we go with Hustle Camp and new products that I'm going to put out, the theme is going to be you can become better off financially. It's going to take time. I'm not going to even be anyone that has one of those quote 30 days to $1 million thing, or I'm not even going to associate with. If I go to an event and I see them, I'll be nice and civil, but I'm not really going to try to get to know them, because here's what's happening. All of this stuff is clogging up the collective consciousness of people online. There's already this weirdness that if it's online, it's a little different than being in real life. Well, actually, it's not. If you treat people online like you treat people in real life really well, good things happen. Let's see what we got here. Corey B, I have to build my knowledge base and show my worth and make sure I get paid. Let's see. Whoa. Let me go down here. Malikio K, that's different. I think I can do a mill because I get along with new people well. I do a lot of favors and I get along with people once with was not good without stress. Okay, Malikio K, I want you to be way more definitive than that, because here's a little secret that happens online. There are people with big YouTube accounts, 1, 2, 3, $4 million, 1, 2, 3, 4 million subscribers, right? And some of you make more money than they do on your job. Part of this is these channels are not segmented. They don't have a lot of engagement. There's a lot of reasons, but you can have a very big following online because it's very loose. It's not tight. It's not defined. So Malikio, you got to be real defined on what you're going to do. Like, okay, I'll go ahead and say, how am I going to make $1 million? I am going to consult. I'm going to create digital products. I am going to write books, and I'm going to start a few e-commerce stores, and I'm going to serve, hopefully, 2018, 300,000 people. 300,000 people will watch a YouTube video, will buy a product, will buy a digital product. You got to like that. You got to break it down like that, because once you start to think like that, and you get scared, because if you never thought like that before, you're going to get scared. It opens up paths, because you see people who are saying, hey, I make all this money, right? Then you go to their website and you don't see the supporting traffic. And you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But a lot of people don't even know to look at that stuff. Robert Burns, with no experience selling online, honestly, probably never. I mean, I'm going to like give you my story. Maybe 10 years, Robert. Jonathan Bubba. True. I make money in my business, but slow return. Part of the thing is how you build your business. Because one of the things was in Hustle Camp, we're going to talk about a bunch of different business models, because you have people who are doing a physical business, but they're taking all of this information. Because if you notice, everything is skewed online toward selling digital products or using Facebook ads or maybe affiliate marketing or something like that. Very few people are talking about building teams. Very few people are talking about hiring people. Very few people are talking about the transition from hustler to business person. That is a transition. And it's a similar transition that happens to an entrepreneur who gets a big company. Travis for Uber just got booted out of his company because the same energy that it takes to build a company is almost diametrically opposed to the same energy that it takes to manage and grow a company. It's a weird thing, but that's the big journey. Eric Williams, I know a guy with 20 subs and I make more with 4K subs. He has no way to monetize, but he looks good, not even going to front. Lamode, I took your advice and it's working. I took action. Congratulations. Traveling merchant. I can make $1 million with creativity, books, patents, and product resale. All right, there's a path, because if you say, I can make all this money, and someone says, how? And you go, I don't know, Shaggy. That's a problem. Butte Ween, what comes after a business person? I don't understand your question. Repeat it. Get more clear with that. Travis was having some issues. Yeah, the board voted him out. Maliki, okay, true. I have a few digital products I like to create and work on when I got energy, and I would like to serve at least 1,000 children and adults through books while serving the audience interested in poetry. Okay. 80-20 rule. I still don't understand what you're trying to say. Like, I'm confused. Thanks for the advice to do a lot of your homework so I get closer to my path every day. Cool. Because part of this thing is many people are poor and they have this distaste and it's being disenfranchised and just hate it. And they're trying to get out of that space as quick as possible. But ask yourself this question. And if you're a kid, the answer is simple, your parents. But why are you poor? And if you say money, I am going to disagree with you. You say the lack of money. I'm going to disagree with you vigorously because here's the thing. Once you start to control how you look at money and once you begin to control money, money doesn't control you anymore. And it frees you up to do so many things. Gerald Estrada, take massive action. Most people are lazy. I'm going to say some people are lazy. Many people simply don't know. And because of ego and in this society where you're supposed to know certain things at a certain age, they refuse to take action. They refuse to reach out. They refuse to ask for help because it makes them look bad. What's up, Shalise? Brian Bell, fear is a horrible thing to get over when you're wanting to start something on. Louis, the laptop lifestyle, true or a myth? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you the long version of the laptop lifestyle for me. And for anyone that wants to circumvent that stuff and actually start a business, get your hustles on, all the links and stuff are below for Hustle Camp, plus the descriptions. Here's my version of the laptop lifestyle. Pick a business, work in that business 10 to 15, 20 years, come online and dispense that knowledge. That's what I did. That's how I had the laptop lifestyle. If I had not worked 12 years selling stuff, I would have had no content to make. I would have nothing to talk about. I would have to go to one of these forums and like, what's a good thing to do online? Someone asked me what are the best for recession-proof jobs. I don't know. I don't do jobs. Once again, you got a job, keep your job. But I don't do jobs. So I'm not going to give career advice. I'm not going to give how to get a job advice. I simply don't know. I am so out of that I have not had a job going on 18 years. I don't know how that shit works. I know how to hire people. I know how to build businesses, but I don't know how to get a job. As a giggle, when I was bored, I filled out applications at Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's. Nobody called me back. I don't know how to get a job. Crazy thing. G Ranks. Now I'm going to read this slowly. G Ranks. I save my Lyft money and live off my 9 to 5. This is a very important part of escaping being poor. Proper financial management. He is saving money. Once again, this isn't save to invest or Bitcoin, something like this. But everybody 18 and above needs $2,000 to $10,000 cash somewhere. Everybody. That's what you should have. Everybody should have that. So congratulations. I love how you did that with the drinking of your orange juice. I mean, the whole thing is I'm changing stuff around. I talked with my staff today, and we're going to do stuff very differently. Like number one, with Hustle Camp, it's not going to be this fast thing. But this. It's going to take some time. You're going to get a lot of value. We're going to talk about a lot of different things that I cannot talk about in a stream. And you're going to get the information in a sane, sensible, digestible manner. Because here's the reality. You take one of my courses. You could go to the Craigslist book or the storage auction book, take $100,000, go out, buy some stuff and flip it, and literally make money this week. That's a hustle. It's very hard to turn Craigslist and storage auctions into a business. I turned it into a business because I got a 10,000 square foot warehouse. I had employees. I had a partner. We had a system. That's different. But the reality is, for you guys starting from scratch, or maybe you got to hustle, we're looking at 6 months to 2 years. And knowing that, just design this community, Hustle Camp, because I'm gonna leave it like that. Everybody that comes in is a paying member. There will not be any freebies or anything like that unless they're an admin or something. And then we're gonna put this stuff out. I'm gonna give you my viewpoints. I'm gonna give you how I predict stuff, because I have a video on one of my for fun channels. It's like I Am Cameron. I put up there, Donald Trump's gonna resign. I had a bunch of people come at me, call me crazy. Well, recently it's come out that one of Trump's people on his campaign met with the Russians to get dirt on Hillary. It's in emails. Google it. You know, we're not going to get political, but Google it. Hold on. Boom. That's that other shoe dropping. So how did I come there? I didn't look at Donald Trump, the president. I looked at Donald Trump, the man. I looked at his past. See, here's another thing, and this is something you're going to love in Hustle Camp. You're going to learn in Hustle Camp. Habit is stronger than willpower. Habit can be everything. So when you look at the person's habits, so you know that person. And one of the things we want to make a habit of for you guys is getting money. If getting money becomes a habit, strange things are going to happen. You're going to forget that you have money. I have an account that because I did some stuff with my checking and I had like some money in one account and I forgot about it. Now, why did I forget about it? And I'm not saying this to brag or to boast, but it was $28,000 that I literally forgot about. Why did I forget about it? Because I have money coming in. I have an operating budget for my household. I have a savings account. So I'm not walking around pressed to the point that I could actually forget about 28 grand. Think about that. Could you forget that you had $2,000 somewhere? Well, I'll tell you, when you start to get money on a consistent basis and your confidence goes up, your comfort level with getting money, you will find yourself not being so pressed to know where all your money is. I know that sounds crazy. I mean, I know it sounds like almost irresponsible, but that happens. Let's see. Oh, G Ranks bought the Never Broke Action Pack, right? G Ranks got 3K saved for attitude money. See, now I'm going to tell you stuff like if you want to be a flipper or something, once you have $10,000 cash plus your monthly budget covered, because this is what happens with business. You got a business, then you're taking that money out of the business to live on. So the business is like, it's strangling, because for a business, money is cash. I mean, oxygen is cash. So you're taking oxygen away from the business and wonder why it's like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe, right? Why? Having these additional accounts, your business money can stay with the business, and then you can do other things. So congratulations, man. Appreciate that. Nate the Workaholic, I agree. Damn, I want to keep. You can watch the replay of AKW Beats. Gerald Estrada, how much is the camp? For everyone that was interested in Hustle Camp, the entry level is $99. The mid-tier, which you get courses you can start today, is $200, and then the third tier is $300, where you get 30 days to $2,500, the digital introductions, and then for the ballers in the group, it's $900 to get everything. The prices are not going to change no time soon. So if you're like a little pressed right now, you can still get in. I'm going to leave that for a while because once again, what's the thing here? It's like Hustle Camp builds you up. This isn't going to happen overnight. We're going to put in a lot of work, and it's going to take some time. So you got time to get in. G Ranks, I had 15K in savings, lost my job 2 years ago, and the bottom of the brook, it fell out. Damn. But see, think about if you didn't have that 15K, how really bad it would have been. Let's see, Nate the Workaholic, I make more money hustling and working for myself than having a full-time job. Excellent. Glennon, it seems like the cars listed on Craigslist are high for their miles. One of the things I'm going to do for Hustle Camp, I've got 20-some courses. on Gumroad, right? And for like G Ranks, like if someone comes in there and it's like, hey, I got a course on how to buy a car. There's ways that you can do it, and there's certain things you need to look for, because you're right. I bought and sold many cars on Craigslist, and some of those people are insane. But with the right tactics, you can get that price down. Nita hadn't had a full-time job in 2 years. Congratulations. Because, the big thing about escaping being poor is managing the money you have, because there's this myth that if I only had more money, I'd be better off. No, it's not true, because you'll get more money and you'll go crazy because of all these pent up needs and desires and all this stuff that you wanted and you couldn't have. Now it's like, I can get it now. And next thing you know, you're broke again with more stuff. And if you didn't pay cash for the stuff and you financed it, then the snatcher man will come get it if it's a car or a house. Or your credit goes bad because you overextended yourself on your credit. So it's real interesting. That is the path. Managing the money you have first, then making more money. Keeping your job. I'm going to say this word, and many people will say it's a cuss word, and people will come after me. Personal responsibility. It is your job to be successful. It's no one else's. No one else cares. No one else will be impacted unless you're married with kids. Let's see. What are you talking about last first? For those folks who are coming in, we're talking about how to stop being poor in the United States of America. That's the topic. Cody Wyman, I'm glad to have started my service business because the music store I work for may be folding. Wow, that's tough. I'll tell you a little story about that. And this happened years ago. I had a guy who bought, because I used to have I actually gave the people the storage auction group because I wasn't doing storage auction stuff anymore. And it didn't make any sense for me to be in there because I wasn't talking about anything. And this guy, he bought the book and he sent me this email. He's like, Glendon, I'm getting laid off today. And I smiled. I'll have more time to work on my storage auction business. Now, the thing is, he had been in the business 2 years. This wasn't like he just got laid off and jumped. No. And he had, he was doing about $2,000 to $4,000 a month on the side. And he saved his money. So he was positioned to lose his job. And that's a lot of stuff that we want to do in Hustle Clip, because I'll be talking about a lot of stuff over and over and over again. Everyone needs a savings account. Everyone needs goals, because you can make a lot of money online. I have. I'm not even going to say it's impossible, and some of you will. But what's the difference between people who are making a lot of money online and the people who don't? If you parse it down, I guarantee you it's going to be experience. And that's something you can't hack. You can buy it through employees. But if you're poor, you don't have money to hire employees. Every time I profile someone, I always find it. There was this testimony of this girl. She was a graphic designer. And she took this course, and then the guy was talking. And it's true story. She went from nothing to like $90,000 a month. Now, here's the rub. I researched her, went to her LinkedIn. She had 22 years of experience, 500 plus connections. She even said in an interview, she said, like, I reached out to my network. You got 20-some years of experience. Now you're on your own. You have people who love your work. All she needed was a process and structure. See, what she brought to the course was the raw ingredients to success. Now, if she had been an interior designer, let's say graphic designer right out of school, that wouldn't have worked. Always, when you look at the real story, and because the thing is, what he did for her was real. She took his course. It was a good course. She made the money. But she brought those intangibles to the table that most people are not bringing. Let's see. Oh, Louis talking about divorce bank account. Gerald Strada, I was broke. I got 5 G's and I went crazy and broke. I mean, it happens because you have all these pent up needs. I mean, I've been so broke that going to McDonald's was a luxury. I remember I was in the storage, not the storage business. I was in the boarding house, and this guy, we laid bricks, and he called me back. It was through the labor pool, And I was just going at it, right? And I was like laying these bricks, because if you've ever laid bricks, your arms will swell up if you've never done it before. And I was just doing the best job I could because it was a clean job if you've ever been in a labor pool. And at the end of the job, dude just pulls a few of us to the side and he's like, I noticed you were working really hard. I appreciate that. $100. Man, that $100 was gone so quick. Because I had all these points up. This, like what I'm telling you is I've been through it. It took a while for me to come out of that, but if you stay in that process, I mean, it's going to be hard for you to get some real money. Nate the Workaholic, Louis the Seller. Oh, I'm not getting in that with y'all. Oh, wait a minute, Louis the Seller, you're so right. After my divorce, I was broke, sleeping on my mother's living room floor. I don't suggest that you. It depends on your marriage. I ain't gonna get in that. I just think, yeah, it just depends on your marriage. But that's rough. It's very, very rough. Now, another thing to escape being poor is you got to educate yourself. You know, self-education, take class, whatever. You have got to cram as much education into your brain as possible. We live in a world that changes current. Like, okay, I started this YouTube channel. One thing worked. I have changed my strategies on this YouTube channel no less than 20 times. You must continue to self-educate. This is going to be something you're going to be doing until you take that dirt nap. If you want to remain competitive, you know, I feel that I'm extremely educated because I know a lot of stuff about YouTube. I know about writing, self-publishing, marketing, sales. Those are really critical skills to have. So you got to be one of those people who read books. And I don't think you have to read 60 books a month. I think if you read a book a week, that's plenty. Or if you read 2 books a month, that's plenty. Make sure there's sales books, marketing books, copywriting books, things like that. Educate. You must consistently educate yourself to escape from being poor. I mean, you can't get around it. You just can't. What we're talking about today is how to escape from being poor. One of the things I'm doing with these live streams is I'm going to let them render and go off. So the content's got to be congruent, because I know a lot of folks love to go off in these tangents and talk about this other stuff, but that totally screws up the video. So that's what we're staying on. I have 2 hours worth of students and my goal is 10 hours. Okay. Glenn, I'm trying to learn in the midst at the same time. Listen to books at work, Producer Man 13. True. Thanks, Rosino. Audible's great. Learn about selling, real estate. Yeah, educate yourself. Just continually educate yourself on the things you want. Like, here's the thing that cracks me up with a lot of people who want money. They have never read a book about money. Because, like, let's take mutual funds and index in the stock market. You have all these people talk about this stuff, and this is some stuff I learned a long time ago with Vanguard and Peter Lynch. You want a no-load fund. You got people who are cranking all kinds of money, and the returns are like 4%, but the load is 2%. So 50% of your gains gone. And people still are investing in these things because they don't know how money works. I knew that stuff in the 80s. If you want money, read about money and read the boring stuff about money. Learn about economics. Learn about supply chains. Read about that stuff, because one of the things that my goal is to be the anti-internet marketer. I'm going to give you practicality. I'm going to give you sound advice. I'm going to give you stuff that you can use for year after year, because there's a lot of ways to make money fast on the internet. There's, you know, Facebook ads. There's a lot of hacks. But one of the things that I've consistently noticed with the majority, there's a few stars who live well. You making $200,000, $300,000 a month, but you sitting on the couch with a hole in it in your video. I don't understand. I'm not saying you ain't making 200, but it ain't adding up, because the first thing that any person who's making some money is going to do is make their life comfortable. You may not get a car. I used to date a girl worth 10 million. She drove a Prius. Everybody's not going to flex on the car. But if you are an internet marketer and you're at home all of the time, don't you think that you would make the place that you get your money and spend most of your time comfortable? Is that unreasonable to expect that? That's one of the first things I look at. It's like, you're making all this money, but you live like a bum. Oh, that's right. I'm keeping it real. You know, money ain't changed me, man. Money ain't changed me. Let's see. Yeah, Daniel Pink's good. Hold on. Let me bring that down. I'm just getting rid of somebody. Because the thing is, I've been doing these streams for years, and the people who are here who want to learn stuff, they ask intelligent questions. They don't harp on stuff. I know about farming. I need land. I will tell you, in the future, I think small farming, not, you know, the big organized farming, but farm to table stuff where you have, I don't know how many acres. I don't know anything about farming, but I think that's going to be a very viable business model. So true. Here in the CN, so true. People here in the U.S. are too entertained, and reading is not cool. In the library, most people are on computers watching music videos. That's crazy. Louis the Seller, can anyone develop an entrepreneurial mindset? No. Most people are born with it, and there's another group who can develop it. Everyone, no. I used to believe people could, but I've got experience that points to otherwise. Now, you can learn a lot online. What's up, Catherine? What's up, Sebastian? Let's see, how long have we been here? Because, you know, like I said, I'm going to do these little streams here and there, and then I'm going tonight release the first information for Hustle Camp. Okay, cool. We are right where we want to be, because I'm going to try to keep these under an hour. It's just a few housekeeping things. At the end, if you go to the description, at the bottom is the new live stream email notification list. I'm gonna call it what it is. The other day, I deleted everyone's emails. So if we're on that list, you need to resubscribe. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm starting all of this over. We're going back 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012 style. And there are a lot of people in there on the list who are only interested in certain things. So I just got rid of everybody. And we're just coming at it from a whole different perspective. "20 racing goats going to be hot." Okay, that's funny. So for anyone that wants to be part of Hustle Camp, it's going on now. It's very easy to get into, and you're going to get some information you're just not going to get anywhere else, because I have some wild concepts that I want to put in a group environment, because it can't be on YouTube. I get banned on YouTube if I talked about this stuff. And it's just going to be some controversial things. And then you guys will also see the beginning of new channels and new information. Let's see. Dave Chappelle said he hadn't read a book in years. The people who can hold ADHD at bay are making all the money, LL. Let me tell you about Dave Chappelle, and I'm going to tell you about Kevin Hart. You know, both of those guys, their parents were educators. Dave Chappelle probably read more books than the average person before he was 18. Now, this is something that happens when you are an early reader. At some point, all this information starts to come out and dots start connecting. If you look at the insights of Kevin Hart, you look at the insights of Dave Chappelle, he's brilliant. I think reading had a lot to do with that. And he says stuff, and then you find out later that he ain't like that. So I don't know. What's up, Michelle? LMO, do you think it's worth doing international shipping? I keep getting customers from other countries. What you have to do is raise your prices to cover that. Well, this is one thing. I don't know anything about this business, but a lot of people hire goats to chew their lawn. I see them all the time over here. It cracks me up because there's like 15, 20 goats just chomping away. But hey, everything's below the video. You want to be part of Hustlers Camp, go ahead and grab that. Starts tonight, and it's going to go on for 30 days, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and you get a cool t-shirt. T-shirts will be coming out toward the end. So, I've got Patty and I have Valencia. They're in the group. They're the moderators. So if you have a question or something, yeah, I should say that this will not be run like any other Facebook group. It's going to be very, very different. And there will be a lot of help, and there'll be people to answer questions and stuff. And you guys are going to get some cool, cool stuff. Crazy stuff, but cool. All right, with that, I will catch you guys later. And I will see some of you later on. Everything is below the video. You've got 4 ways to get into Hustle Camp. Plus, there's a description of what's going on. So with that, I'll catch you guys later.